Takes a little bit. All right, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another around 30 minutes. This is where we get to know people out in the community and everything. Get a little, not in depth with them, but just to know what a little bit about them and everything. And I love doing this. So I have another special guest as always. I have Mr. Evan tonight. He is joining me, and I want to say thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule. And how you doing?
Dude, I'm great, man. First of all, thank you for having me. I was very surprised and honored to get your message about
Oh,
hitting me up. So literally,
come on now.
I want to say I'm appreciative of you reaching out, and I look forward to it. Honestly, it's gonna be great.
Thank you, thank you. Dude, the honor's all mine, and I'm reaching out. I want anybody and everybody. I don't care who it is. I'm reaching out to whoever. Not saying that it's lesser. That that you're coming on, but I want everybody to get a different perspective of of the view of this fandom and everything. And so I'm reaching out to all my friends and everything, and and I've met you a couple of times, and I know we don't talk a lot, and we should. I'll change that, but
Intake it. I got you. Hey, I'll hit you up, Matt.
And I met you. You've gone to TFCon and you've gone to the Skull Fest and everything. Are you going this year to Skull Fest?
You know what? I will be in North Carolina because I think it's in June or something. So I
Yeah.
will not North Carolina. I'm sorry. I will be in New Orleans for a
Oh,
class.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a mopping class. So
Exactly. Yeah, I get you. Okay, well, that's cool. Yeah, I'm in Arkansas, so I'm a little ways from New Orleans, but we've been down there. We took a cruise out there and
yeah, it's
everything.
I go every year. It's a
Okay.
5-year class, so this is year 3 for me, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken. So
Nice.
I want to go to Skullfest, but I won't be able to make it this year.
No,
I'm sorry, Bobby.
hey, it's understandable. He don't watch my stuff, so you're talking to nobody. So, but yeah, but that's cool. I mean, do you like New Orleans? So you go there every year? Do you like? How long do you get to stay?
Oh man, we stay for about a week. I'm sorry, a week. We come in Saturday and leave probably that Friday or Saturday, so about a week. I love it. You know, it's a great town.
Hmm.
There's plenty of stuff to do, plenty of trouble to get into.
Hmm.
Um, the hardest part I think is because it's for a class and the class is all day.
Hmm.
I don't take my family with me, so I'm away from my family for a week. And if it sounds great, initially you get a week away from your family, but
Yeah.
honestly, if I was down there like hanging out, like having fun and stuff, it'd be different. But
Hmm.
we go out maybe 2, 3 nights, but I start to miss my family after like day 3. So
Oh yeah. Well, that's understandable. That's cool. That's cool. Awesome. Yeah, I've been a couple times, and it's really a lot of history and just a lot of it's fun.
yeah,
It's a fun, a lot of stuff to do down there and everything. So I like that.
yep.
Okay. So first question I always ask is, what do you collect?
Oh man, good question. So my main collection, I won't say main now because it's what I have the most of, is Transformers. I don't I don't really collect specifically official or third party. I collect what looks good to me and what I think represents the uh, the Transformers lore best in my mind. Like as far as how I saw it when I was
Hmm.
a kid. So Transformers is what I have the most of. And next would be the MCU Hot Toys. I'm just kind of starting on that collection right now.
Hmm. Nice, nice. So,
You know who
so
got me into that circle right there?
well, I mean, could it be a couple people? Could it be,
it was it was probably 2 people, and you
two
probably
people?
know.
Yeah, I probably
Um,
know. 'Em. I probably
One of
know.
them has like a skull or something like that for a
Yeah.
face,
Who they?
and the
Who?
other likes to be called Pink if you're nasty or something to that
Yeah.
effect.
Yeah. They're two all right guys. I
Yeah,
guess they're
but they
fine.
got me into it, and to be fair, Bobby got me into the Transformers collecting as well several years ago. So I do appreciate him for that. My wallet doesn't, my wife might not, but it's probably
That's
one of the better
understandable.
things I've done.
Yeah, and I'll get to that. That's another question I'll get to later. But so you cherry pick then, I guess, basically. You're not a completist. You just like what you like. What you see
Nah,
that's
dude.
really
So I'm not a completist at all.
okay.
The funny thing is, like, it's whatever looks good to me, and I'm based around Decepticons, so that's my whole thing. I don't own any Autobots; it's all Decepticons, and my taste and collection has been a bit refined over the past few years. Like when I first started, I think
Mhm.
in 2014, 2015, dude, I bought everything. like like everything that was cool. It doesn't matter scale, size, whatever. It just
Mhm.
I bought everything. My first figure was MP shot Soundwave, MP shot
Okay.
Soundwave, and
Nice.
that was like that will be the last thing that goes out of my whole collection.
Okay.
Sentimental value and all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, understandable. So how many Hot Toys do you have at the Marvels?
Dude, I've only got like 2, 4, 5. I've got 5 with several pending right now. They haven't been released yet, so.
Gotcha. Are you going on any other? Are you just doing Marvel, or are you doing DC, or?
Dude, I'm a Marvel guy at heart. So I think I'm gonna stick with like the MCU representations of these characters, and I'm so invested in that franchise at this point. Right. I've been a Marvel fan since before, obviously, but to have this, cinematic representation, I'm gonna grab one of that and hold on to it as much as I can. So I think I'm just gonna stick with the MCU stuff for now, and we'll see where it goes.
Okay. Yeah, you'll go down the rabbit holes probably.
Yeah, I know it. I'm fighting it, man. I'm fighting it.
Well, cause it maybe call it phase life or something, but I don't. All my stuff I do is a phase life, and in Skullface's eyes, it's just phase. But everybody else is okay. Everybody else can branch off to whatever, but if I do it, it's phase life. So thanks, Bobby. Anyway, yeah. So why do you collect? And have you always collected as a child, to a teenager, to adult, or anything like that?
So I'll answer. I haven't always collected. The closest thing I've come to collecting is I used to collect the cards, for like the Super Marvel cards that they had
from the 90s.
I used to do that. I had the whole book with the plastic separators, and I had all that. I used to do that as a kid, and I hadn't really collected any figures before. And as far as why I collect, it's because I never got a chance to as a kid. It's one of those things that I never even really knew about it. Like, in your mind, you're like, man, I wish they made this toy and it did this, that, and I don't think I was exposed to it as much. But as an adult, you're able to, do that yourself. Like, for example, if I want to go upstairs right now and have cake and ice cream for dinner as an adult, I can do that. I'll pay for it later. But the thing is, you have that opportunity to do it as an adult. So now I'm in that position where I'm like, okay, I can get these figures, and it's what I wanted as a kid, and it represents a part of my childhood, and they look cool as anything too. So, I think that's awesome. If I'd been collecting as a kid, my collection wouldn't look as mature as it does now. So I think that helped me out quite a bit.
Okay, that's a good answer. Good, that's a good answer. Nice. So who is your favorite character?
My favorite character. Now, does it have to be like Transformers?
No, I got anything you like, man.
Oh man. Okay, so I've got a couple. I'm gonna go for Transformers. My favorite character, I would have to say, is Soundwave, and I'm biased because obviously that was my first MP. But something about him, he was just always like cool. Like, I don't know if it was the synthesizer he had the T-Pain going on. I don't know if that's what it was. He had like a gang of people like in his chest ready to jump on somebody, and it was just so funny. Like, and he was loyal, and it was one of those things where he was like down for the team, and he had his whole gang down for the team, and I like that about him. And he was just like, the design is cool, and I think with the bad guys always get the coolest designs. That's just how it always is. For as far as other characters like Marvel, I think Spider-Man / Peter Parker is probably my favorite, only because of his relatability to the common person. Like, that dude struggles for a check. So I think we can all relate to that in some sense, where, this kid, he's fighting crime. He could be making money doing it, but it says something about his integrity that he's not using his gifts or responsibility, if you will, to profit from. And he's struggling day to day to make money. And I think his own character shines through with that. And that's why I would think he's my favorite as far as comic book wise.
So you can relate to him, basically. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's that relatability.
So, because I can relate to Energon Prime, because he's a tubby one, so that's how I react to him. But and about the Soundwave, yeah, I just did a evolution of Soundwave and all the all the toys I have of him, and yeah, he's a really interesting character. And like you said, he's down. He's down for the cause. He's behind Megatron no matter what, and he's got his little fellas behind him and everything, and he's wild. He was T-Paining before T-Pain. So.
Yeah, exactly. He made it cool.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. That's good choices, man. Really good choices. So what is your favorite line to collect?
My favorite line to collect. Um, okay, it's kind of a two-part thing because
Okay.
I think part of collecting is the excitement of the hunt or getting something new. So with Transformers, that was my favorite line to collect. I would say up until maybe a year or so ago, because it was always, you remember, like it was almost like the golden age of like third party and just Transformers
Yeah.
collecting, where new
Mhm.
stuff was coming out on a regular basis. We get those announcements, and I think that made it my favorite line to collect because it was always something different, and I was exposed to something different. And so
Mhm.
I think at the heart of it, that might still be my favorite line. And it's also, in my opinion, very affordable too. So I can't. Hot Toys is quickly becoming my favorite line due to the fact of how detailed the figures are and how they display, you know, in your collection. Like people come down and they see it and they're like, "Wow." Um, but to be fair, people say the same thing when they see, giant friggin' robots in a, in a case too. So I, I had a friend come over recently, and she went straight to the Transformers display as opposed to the Hot Toys one, which is the first one.
Really?
So yeah,
Good for her. Good for
yeah.
her.
So
That's cool.
she
Good job.
she recognized it immediately.
Good job. So like, do you have you dabbled in like the Flames toy stuff yet? Have you got any of that
Dude,
stuff?
that you talk about rabbit holes. That is something I was looking
That
into
is
because
that
that
yeah.
tarn set me off,
Mhm.
and I don't know. I haven't done it yet, but I feel like it's gonna happen.
Okay. I think if you're a Hot Toys collector and you love Transformers, I think Flames toys would be down your alley. I think, to be honest, I'm not trying to get you into a rabbit hole or anything. I'm
No,
just
no,
saying
it's
you really
fine.
could.
I definitely I think I will more than likely pick up the Tarn
Okay.
because and with somebody I have no connection to that character whatsoever. But like I said, I pick up whatever looks cool to me, and he's just a cool looking character, and I can see that displaying well,
Yeah.
in my collection.
Cool. All right. That's awesome. Good choice. Good choice. If you could see somebody one last concert, it'd be your
Mm,
last concert that you ever saw, who would it be? And
wow,
yeah, just who would it be? And they could be
easy.
alive or dead, whatever.
Ja Rule. No, I'm just
Really?
kidding. No, no, no,
Well, you
please.
can you
No.
can take them at the state fair or something, or the county fair if you want to. You know what? And to say that, I like Ja Rule. A lot of
I
people
like him,
get beat.
but
I like him.
he plays himself sometimes, and I think like I know a lot of his songs, but at the
I do
same
too.
time, he can't. I don't know. He just needs to stay in his lane sometimes. But he would not be my my
I
last
hope not.
concert.
I would hope not. But if, you know what? If it would be, that's fine. That's your choice. I'm not. And like I said, I like Holla Holla. That's a good song. I mean, he's got some good songs. I mean,
They did a Java mix on the radio not too long ago, and I kept that on, and I stayed in the car after I got home and listened to everything. So no hate for Java because that dude he made great songs.
mm,
If I had to pick like one concert, that's tough only because you got people like Freddie Mercury who I would love to see,
yeah,
Prince who I know, Prince and Michael Jackson, great performers. Like
yeah,
live, they
mm,
set it off.
yeah,
So it's a toss up, I think, between Prince and MJ because I think I would have to go MJ just based on the dancing. Like
right,
he's such a performer that you have to see that. You have to experience that.
right.
So
I have to disagree, man. Prince,
I knew
and I've gotten in with old Skullface too about this. He's a
yeah.
Michael. He's both. He likes Michael Jackson and Prince, but he always chooses Michael. I'm like, I don't know, man. Prince
I
is
know
so
you're a
not.
huge Prince fan too. I know
Oh,
it.
I am, dude. I
I
had Brent.
know it.
I played my favorite song is Raspberry Beret, and it was played at my wedding. I'm a big Prince fan. You know what? I told it. I'm comfortable with my sexuality and everything. I always wanted Prince to play. While I was taking a bath, and him, serenade me. I'm gonna put that out. I'll
It's
be
all good.
upfront.
Hey, I listen to Michael Jackson. I can't do his moves well, but I do them to the best of my ability. So
Yeah.
anybody who can have me in the middle of a public space doing
Oh, straight
random
down.
dance moves and kicks,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta give it up to him. So that's what MJ does for me, and I think he would be the person who I would want to see in concert the most. And that's off the top of my head right now.
Right. That's not a bad choice. And like I said, I wish I would have got to see Prince, man. I could have had a chance a couple of times, but I just didn't go. I don't know why. I was stupid, but
It's amazing because people are here today, gone tomorrow.
exactly, man. And both talented, both really talented.
Yeah.
So cool. So if you could have one last meal, not when anything happened to you bad or anything, if you could have one last meal, what would that meal be?
Last meal. Goddamn. Dude, I'm such a fan of cereal that
I was gonna ask you what your favorite cereal is too, man.
I love cereal. But if I had to pick a last meal, shoot, I had this this sandwich. It sounds stupid, but I had this sandwich. It was like a cheese sandwich, and I'm really underselling this thing. It was from a food truck. It was like not a grilled cheese sandwich, but it was a Cubano. That's what it was. It was a Cubano. I had it in 2017, October 2017, from a food truck, and I have not been able to find another one that good since. So I think that would be the main course of my last meal, along with maybe like a nice Caesar salad or something like that, and a nice red wine. I know I'm drinking a white wine now, but I love red wine, a blend,
Okay.
and a cigar to finish it off.
Okay, nice, dude. And you know it's a good sandwich when you actually remember the date and month. You're like, October 2017, I had a sandwich. That's a
Dude,
good
it was
sandwich.
so good, and I swear, I'm sure I could find the exact date that I did it because I remember exactly what I was doing. I was working overtime, and the food truck was
Man,
outside. Oh man,
dude,
it was great.
that touched your soul, man. Dude,
Yeah,
you're like, this cheese sandwich, man. Just,
it was.
oh,
Yeah, it was. I never had a Cubano before, but it stuck with me. Like literally, I think about that sandwich more than I think about like friends and family
man,
sometimes.
that's good, man. That's good action right there, everybody. So, what is your favorite cereal? If you're a cereal person.
Okay, my favorite cereal, hands down, Fruity Pebbles.
Okay.
That's 100% with a Lucky Charms being a strong second. Like any given day, they could probably flip flop, but I think Fruity Pebbles and Lucky Charms. But that being said, they just made like a Lucky Charms flavored beer, so we'll see how that goes. You know,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
some brewery down in Virginia, which is close
Wow.
by, so I might have to swing down there and grab some. But
Nice, dude. Well, good luck. I don't drink, so but I'm sure that whoever does that would be cool and everything.
I don't drink a whole lot, but when I do, I try to make it worth it
Right.
because
Yeah.
I stopped drinking a lot of beer and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Like
most we
calories.
do is maybe wine.
Yeah, that's fine. That's cool.
It
All
makes
right,
me feel
cool.
mature.
Yeah, exactly. So do you collect the main line? And if there's anything that they could do to make you want to collect it, like the new Siege stuff, have you checked that out or anything? Are you interested in any of that stuff?
Now, when you say mainline, you mean like stuff that's sold in
Yeah, like
Walmart or
Walmart or something like that. Yeah.
I don't. I do not. And as far as what could be done to make me take that leap, you know what? I think it's just it's because of the competition is so detail oriented and so geared towards a mature audience and mature
Mhm.
buyer that you would have to step up the level of engineering and detail in the product to even catch my attention on that. But I'd be lying if I said there was some mainline stuff that I kind of looked twice at when I was in the store. I think one that I bought was Sandstorm. It was Sandstorm.
From Generations. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, was it Generations? I bought
Generations.
that, and the funny thing is, I saw it, and I think it was Walmart, and I looked
Mhm.
at it. And I sat there and looked at it for like 5 or 10 minutes, and I walked out and left. And I went home, and you know how you just had that feeling like I should have bought it. I should have bought it. So I went back there. I left the house and went back and bought it, and
Nice.
that was a great figure.
Yeah.
The only reason I got rid of it because it didn't go with where my collection was heading. But that's a main, like if stuff was like that more often,
Mhm.
that'd catch my attention.
Yeah. And that was from the Springer mold, and that is considered one of the best chugs that they put out. As far as
I
that
can see why.
and everything.
That
So
thing was
yeah,
fun and it looked good too.
yeah. I like everything. So I'm going to agree with you.
I got
Anything. So,
nothing wrong with that.
and Rudy, he's like, I always love how the chat is so varied. Not often do you get music, toys, cereal, and sandwiches in one. That's what I try to bring in, man. What I try to bring in. Okay, so So how do you relax? Like, if you're, off work or whatever you're doing and everything, what do you do like to just to relax? And, I know you have a family and everything, so, but what do you like to do to, by yourself to, relax and all that stuff?
All right, so it's gonna sound weird, but number one on my list, I put on some music. I've
Yeah.
got, you know, I'm a fan of music just in general, not
Mhm.
one particular kind. I just like music. I put on music and I clean the house. And
Okay.
what relaxes me is a clean house. But let's say the stars align and the house is clean. I come home, everything's done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come down to the basement. It doesn't happen often. I'm coming down to the basement. I have my little man cave, I guess you would call it, which is where
Okay.
I'm at now. And
Mhm.
I'll sit down. And I'll either play a game or I'll watch a show on Netflix or something.
Okay.
And um, that's usually it. Like if I get a day to myself, that's what I'll end up doing,
Okay.
and that's how I relax. And, oh, I go to the movies by myself too.
Okay. I
My
love
wife
going
is
to them.
Yeah, my wife is cool with that shit. Since
Mhm.
we've been knowing each other, I've always gone to the movies at least first by myself to at least get a feel for it and just enjoy it.
Mhm.
Then I take her or the kids or both um, later because
Yeah.
she's gonna ask me a million questions throughout, like who is this? What are we doing? And so
Exactly. That's
the
awesome.
movies.
Yeah, that's what me and my wife love doing. We love going to the movies. Like we're going, like I said, we're going to go out to eat tonight and probably go watch Alita tonight and
Yeah,
everything. So looking
that's
forward
the
to it.
best thing you can do, man. Yeah.
It is. It is. It's a good time to just, just relax and go like this stuff. So cool. Good answer. Great answer. So if you, and I know you've done this already. So if you lost your collection, I don't want anything bad to happen. Like I said, everything, would you start over? And I guess you would start, how you're doing it now, right? I mean, because you used to collect everything you said, right? And then,
You know, the first answer being yes, I would start over.
Mhm.
I would start over in some way, shape, or form. I think I would start with the pieces that I felt were most important to me.
Okay.
Not necessarily what's quote unquote most expensive, but what's most important to me, which I think I would replace that MP sound wave. I would replace I would get another Quake wave because I
Okay.
love that figure too.
Mhm.
Because those two are on a shelf together with me, and that's awesome. So I would go from there. I would build from there, and honestly, I I would probably split my time between replacing my Decepticons and Transformers collection and my Hot Toys collection. So it'd be like for every 2 or 3 Transformers I get, maybe I'd pick up a Hot Toy or something like that. But I would definitely replace the collection.
Okay. Cool. That's a good answer. Great answer, man. You're good at this, man. Golly.
I try to be, the wine helps.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, like liquid courage, whatever.
No, I'm social
Cool.
anyway. I like talking, man.
Oh yeah, no, that's understandable. That's cool. That's what I like. That's what makes this fun. If you just sit there and did one answer, or, one question or one answers, one word answers. Jesus, golly, it'd be kind of boring.
No, I don't
So,
do that, man.
so, do you ever think that you will stop collecting?
Yes. Don't know when. Don't know what's going to be the catalyst, but
Mhm.
I know I will at some point. I can't see it being anytime soon because I feel like even if I slow down significantly, I'm still going to at least be at 1 or 2 figures a year. But as far as stop collecting, I think I've got an idea in my mind of what kind of space I want to use for my basement.
Okay.
So I know that this whole wall that I'm kind of facing now, I could have that whole wall with figures, and that would be it. So once that wall is taken up,
Mhm.
so be it. So maybe it might be me swapping out figures. Like I'll put this one in a box, pick up a new one, and replace it. But I don't think the actual end to my collecting will be until maybe I want to say retirement.
Okay.
Retirement age, because then I'll be more focused on traveling and stuff like that. So
All right. All right. Nice. Okay. Good. Good. Hey, how you doing? That's my wife. So she didn't know. Anyways,
how I
uh,
say, hey,
hey, Evan said hi. Okay. Hi.
hi.
Yeah. So so if you owned a company, let's say a third party company, what would be your first release, and what scale would you release it as?
Okay. I'm gonna go with MP scale, which that's always open to interpretation, obviously. But I would say in line with MP figures
Yeah.
within reason, obviously. And I think my first figure would be trying to think of something that's not done to death, honestly, because we've had an influx of certain characters recently. I'm looking at my collection right now to see which ones I wouldn't mind seeing redone. Shoot, I was about to say Scorponok, but I tell you what, that panda in this looks awesome.
Yeah.
Based on what I have currently, I would say MP scale, maybe Abominus.
Oh.
And that's me really reaching, honestly. But just looking at some of the figures I have in my collection, I'm just like, that's been done several times over. That's like, unless you can improve upon MP Soundwave, I'm all for that. Bring something new to the table, but I don't want the same thing over and over. But that's what I would start with if I can improve on that, because I think people are ready for something like that. We've only seen one iteration of an MP scaled Soundwave, so I think that would be what I could start with.
Nice, good choice.
You're trying to improve on perfection on that at that point, so
that is true. That is probably, I know, at least top 3 as far as MP releases and everything. I think the only thing you could do maybe is maybe more cartoon like or something.
Maybe. But if you're gonna do it, you better bring a lunch.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying, man. You know, because it's gonna be a long day. We're gonna be in that factory working because there's no way you can improve on that overnight.
Oh yeah, Fans Toys found out. I mean, they were gonna release Soundwave and they're like, yeah, we're good.
They knew it. They knew it. You know.
Not surprised they did. You know, since they test the water with the hot rod. And a lot of people are. Do you have hoodlum?
I don't.
I don't either. I'm fine with my MP1. I mean, he's not the best looking thing, but he fits. I select everything, so it doesn't matter. So
yeah,
cool. All right. Yeah. So yeah,
I gotta think about that too.
What's that? I'm sorry.
I said I'm gonna really think about that question too, because I'm going through my mind like, what would I want? And a lot of what I would want or would do if I was a company is already either out or in the works. So
true. I always say this and everything. I would love a Astro Train. I don't know. There's not been a good Astro Train. I mean, I had the DX9 one, but I sold it. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Do you have them? Do you have that one?
No, actually, he was on my list to get, and it just didn't do it for me. Like seeing it now, when you see a figure and you try to convince yourself that I like this. And you just know, I've done it before where I've fallen into that rabbit hole where I was like, I'm gonna like this figure, I'm gonna like it. I get it, and I just don't. Garrotron Thunderwing was that way with me. I was like, I'm gonna like this figure. It has so much go. So that's what I feel like DX9 Astro Train was, and it wasn't a terrible looking figure, but it just didn't do it for me like visually. So I said I passed on it, and I'm glad I did.
I bought it, and I didn't get the Toy World one, and there was another one I think from another company, but they were kind of chug scale.
Yeah, it was small. I know what you're talking about.
So I'm waiting. I think an Astro Train right now. If somebody announced an Astro Train, I think the internet would just go.
Oh, it'd be great. It'd be great.
So, and Blitzwing too. I have the Dicka because Robert D wants to be funny and send me one. I bought one. And I didn't like it, so I sold it. And he thought it'd be funny to get me another one, so I have to keep it now because it's given to me. So, I think a Blitzwing, a nice Blitzwing. There was rumors, Fans Toys had one they showed us, and then the rumor was they canned it, whatever, because MP or Takara was going to put one out.
Oh, really?
It haven't heard me, so
didn't know.
I don't know. But it wasn't good enough to FT standards, I guess, or Fans Toy standards, maybe. I don't know. There could have been a lot of reasons. I don't know specifically, but yeah, they backed off of it. That and Trailbreaker too. I didn't, so.
Oh, that's crazy that they would, let those go like that. I will say, two figures that I was really interested in that we have iterations of, Beast Wars Megatron, the Red Dragon, and and also the Stealth Bomber Megatron.
Ooh,
so those are two that we have out already that I'm fans of. I love their design. So
do you have the Generation Toys one?
I think I'm gonna pick it up because I was waiting to see. There was another company that was coming out with one, and I wanted to see how it went. I can't. Which one? G Creations was they?
Okay, yeah. G Generation Toys, pick it up. It's good.
Really? You like it?
I'm not. I don't. I try not to put off on anything like that, anything say that it's worth it, but that it's good. It's got a
Okay.
nice stand. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful figure.
Yeah, I think it'll be in my house soon enough, and you know, if I can get a couple iterations of Megatron, that'd be great. And like I said, the Beast Wars one, I'm a fan of Beast Wars because I kind of
Me too.
grew up watching that before I went to school in the morning. I remember, so I followed it. I know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nice. Joey, he says, you guys think we'll get Toon Metroplex? I don't know.
Like,
What do you think?
like you mean third party Metroplex? If he means third party, I think definitely.
Yeah, I mean the Make Toys is pretty good. It's not Toon accurate, but it's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, it's out there. I just think somebody else is going to step up and maybe give a larger scale one. And, you know, because we have what? Make Toys and we have the official.
Yeah.
So I think somebody's going to come in and do one. And like both of those are getting a little long in the tooth now. So I think come in with newer engineering, newer detailing, paint, and all that stuff. I think you can find a company that'll make that work.
Yeah, I can see happen. I'm sorry, it was Combined Awards. I think was the Metroplex, and Tide Returns was Fort Max. But anyways, yeah, we had two. I think is that what we have? Yeah, no, we got they did Scorponok too. Make Toys did Scorponok.
Yes, I still need to pick that up.
It's pretty good. It's kind of beefy, you know. It's like
Very beefy,
but it's pretty cool. I like it.
It looks good though.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. G1 Megatron is awesome. Yeah. I remember Beast Wars on Saturdays. Yeah, I remember. Did you watch Beast Wars on Fox Kids? I think
it was Fox Kids.
I watched it. I remember.
I believe so.
I wasn't a kid, but I did watch it once in a while. So let's see. Okay. What would you? Okay, so Transformers been around for 35 years now. So what would you like to see from Transformers for another 35 years to keep going?
I would like to see something more adult oriented, like it. And by adult oriented, I don't mean like a rated R version of Transformers or M-rated version. No, nothing like that. But something that has adult sensibilities, even if it's themes like maybe pull from the IDW, because I really do believe they can make a comeback, whether it be on a platform like Netflix or Hulu. I think they would get a good audience with that, and because they do so much of their programming geared towards children, which is great. You can split it. But definitely do something for your older fans who kind of been riding with you since '86. And I think same way kind of DC does, they have stuff geared towards the kids, and they also have the more mature things. Transformers can do the same thing, and whether it be, like I said, Netflix, Hulu, movies, they can make it happen because there's fan bases out there, and I would love to see it, especially stuff that harkens back to the Cybertron days, or even the early, earlier days of it when they were just arriving on Earth. I think there's a market for all of that.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. I mean, they have one coming out for Netflix, and I'm really excited. Every time I talk about it, I'm really excited for that. I hope and with adult theme. So, did you like Prime? That was kind of adult themed.
You know what? I never watched Prime. Shame on me. I know. I've heard it was one of the best things ever.
Right now, slap your hand right now. Come on now.
I know.
If you want adult themed, I think you would really like. I think you need to check it out. It's really good.
I wouldn't mind checking it out. I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I think it's a shame on me that I haven't checked it out since it came. So I think I make time for it.
I think, it's adult thing, but I think you could also have if your kids like Transformers, I think it's fine. It was on Cartoon Network and everything, so it is for kids, but it was kind of, a little more towards, I want to say teenager, kind of scale, maybe, give or take.
But it wasn't the Rescue Bots type stuff.
No, it wasn't Rescue Bots. It wasn't like RID. It wasn't any like that stuff. It was more. It was a little darker. I could say a little darker than everything, but it's still something your kids could watch too. I think.
Cool. I'm gonna check it out. Seriously, cool. I will.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Let's see. Wouldn't mind the Transformers with a new cast set, future in the G1 style. Okay, and that's another good Mandalore. Thank you. I was going to ask that question. Would you like to see something from Transformers, like a whole new, like you start from scratch with new characters? Still good versus evil kind of thing, but all new characters. Would you want to see something like that? Would you be interested in something like that?
I wouldn't mind something like that, and it would get my attention, honestly, because I think there's something to be said for introducing new facets to the lore and just expanding upon that, because you can only have Optimus Prime versus Megatron for so long, in my opinion, and you can only repackage it so many ways before it grows stale. So I think bringing in new characters who pay homage to what came before, but also start their own thing, I think that would be awesome, and I'd be all for it.
Nice. Yeah, I think I would be too. I mean, I love the G1 character. I love all the characters. I always will. But I love Transformers. So I think if they introduce new characters and it broaden out a different thing, I think it would really help. And all that stuff in there. I think it'd be pretty good. So, all right. So, is anybody got any questions? Anybody watching? Anybody got any questions for Mr. Evan? He'll I'm sure he's an open book. He says so. He'll answer anything you'll want to ask. They should do an IDW cartoon. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Do you read the comics?
No, I haven't read the comics. Well, not all of them. I haven't read them extensively, but I've read a few here and there. And I do like the IDW content. And I'm surprised at this point it hasn't been made into a cartoon or anything like that. Which even I think they have almost like the comic book animated cartoons. I think Black Panther did a few years back. They had a series where it was like the comic book animated series, and it wasn't necessarily what you had with Prime or what you had with the original series, but it was still good. And I think IDW could do that in like short spurts and like grow your audience and whatnot, and then make it into a full-fledged series.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I like that. Mandalore said came in late, but like Evan's work on Nerd Rage. So there you go. You got a fan.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And Joey F, he said, who is your least favorite Transformer? I could ask that. I should ask that first, but yeah, who's your least favorite one?
My least favorite Transformer. It'll be an Autobot. Hold on. Just hold on. I've got a couple. There's
just ripped out a list like
exactly. Yeah. I'm glad you asked. In order of worst to best.
Dude, if you would have pulled out a list out of the back of your pocket there, I would have rolled. I've been like, all right, I'm done. Interview's over. I'm done. I'm like, oh my, he was waiting for that one.
I think my least favorite Transformers would have to be Bumblebee.
Wow.
I have a reason. Bumblebee, Rodimus.
Okay.
Not Hot Rod. Well, no, Hot Rod, not Rodimus. Hot Rod.
Hot Rod. Okay.
And I think that's it that I can think of right now. Dinobot. I didn't like Dinobot too much.
Oh, really? From Beast Wars or from the Grimoire? You did not
Dinobot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't do it. No. Bumblebee, Hot Rod, Dinobot, and Cheetor.
Okay. Cheetor I could understand. But Dinobot? Wow.
Yeah. Something about him. He was just way too intense and like, I don't know. He seemed to take himself way more seriously than the situation warranted.
Yeah, he was down. He was down. So why Bumblebee? So did you watch Bumblebee the movie?
Yeah, I did not watch Bumblebee the movie. But from watching him in the original series and subsequent iterations of him, he just seemed very whiny to me. And maybe that's how they made him in the 80s. And I know he's changed dynamics a little bit since then, but what sticks in my mind is how he was originally. And he always seemed very whiny and, like, dude, grow us that, man. Come on, just come on. I know he was like the little brother kind, the archetype, but it's just like, man, it's just so annoying. He's almost like the Lois Lane of Transformers, always getting into trouble, always getting jacked up. Like, man, if you don't save yourself and get off them train tracks, then,
Yeah, hey, Michael Bay. Now he wasn't. He didn't run over Michael Bay though. He was kind of.
I think he was better in the movies than in the original cartoon.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, nice. And Dinobot. Yeah, everybody's like Dinobot. Wow. So Cindy Kyle wants to know, what is your Grail? Do you have a Grail Transformer or MCU, whatever do you have a Grail Transformer?
Oh man,
what do you want?
Give me a second. I don't think I have one right now, and that's not to say it doesn't exist. Maybe I just haven't been exposed to it.
Okay.
But I will tell you, I had one. It used to be Make Toys Hypernova.
Okay. Okay.
And I got that a few years back, and I love that figure. And once I started to restructure my collection,
Mm-hmm.
as much as I tried to shoehorn it in, it would not fit into my collection, and I ended up selling it. And I was so I did not like that I sold it. But and if I honestly, I may buy it again because it was one of those figures. It just stuck out to me, and it looked
Yeah.
great to me. And
Mm-hmm.
but that was the one figure I would consider that was definitely a grail for me. I've been fortunate enough to be able to pick up most figures that I want.
Mm-hmm.
There's one that I had three of, like Perfect Effect Arania, the spider one, the Black Widow one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the motorcycle.
Yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've had three of those, and I've got
Okay.
one now. But that was, I know some people that was their grail, but I happened to find one for like $60.
Oh, really? Wow.
And so,
Dang.
like the most I've ever paid for one was like 120, I think, and I think
Wow.
that's pretty good.
That is really good, man. Because I think
But
they're
I've
going
only
for a
got one
pretty penny.
now. But
Yeah, I think they're going for a pretty penny now. I think, aren't they? I think they're
really,
hard to
well,
find.
get ready to see that thing up in the groups, huh?
Give you that topping real quick. Oh, really? Okay.
But if they, I will say, if they did like a Black Order for Hot Toys, like Thanos' Black Order, and a Ronan the Accuser, I want those.
Oh.
Those characters are so cool looking to me that
Okay.
I really do want those. So
Okay, cool. That's nice. I'm sure. I'm surprised they haven't done Roman since with the Guardians being so popular and everything. I'm really surprised they haven't
really,
done it.
oh, man, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting. Ronan would have been a great figure to have.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they'll got it somewhere in the works.
With Cat Marvel coming out, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. True. That is true. Yeah, with the Kree and everything and all that. So yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. Rudy asked, any G1 toys you'd like to see reissued? Are you in on the Walmart reissues, or do you collect G1 stuff at all?
No, I don't. I don't. Because I don't have any connection with them. Like I
Right.
said, I didn't collect anything when I was younger, so I would have no connection with the G1 toys as they were. And when I started collecting, the aesthetic and the look was so far from where G1 was
Mm-hmm.
that it wouldn't make sense for me to go back.
Gotcha.
I think when you collect G1 toys, you definitely have a connection with it, and it represents something that you either had long ago or that you loved long ago. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that. But I can see why people collect them. But it just, for me, it would not match with anything I have going on.
Gotcha. That's a good point. I think the only reason why I have G1 is because that's what I grew up with, and that's a really good point. I don't think people necessarily go looking for G1 stuff because you have such wonderful stuff now, like even the Siege line I've talked about, and then you've got third
Yeah.
party. That's what as a kid you wanted to see as a transformer. It's cool that we had G1 and thing, and I still have G1. I have a lot of G1 collection, but it's just for nostalgia basically. But
Yeah.
so.
That's the perfect way to put it. It's for nostalgia. And
Mhm.
I basically have no nostalgia attached to G1 figures. Now, I have
Right.
nostalgia attached to the actual the cartoon and the show, but I had
Yeah.
no figures to go with it. Now
Oh,
if
yeah.
you want to talk about if they want to reissue the McDonald's Transformers, I'm all for it. But I had those. I definitely had those.
Oh, who didn't have that? And they're doing them now. BotBots. You can get BotBots. I love some BotBots. So Joey asks again. Do you think Fans Toys is falling from grace? And that's good. I think for Dummies has been talking about that right now. They did one, and we hit it on a little bit last night on Shattercast. So what do you think is? I don't want to say is anything wrong with Fans Toys, but do you think maybe they got too big for their britches or something? Or what do you think about Fans Toys? What they're going through?
I think they definitely their eyes were a little bit bigger than their stomach as far as a year or two ago. I
Mm-hmm.
think that played a big part in it, where they did become that main player in that big name in third party and in Transformers, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they were feeling themselves a bit. So I think the fact that you've had several canceled figures or delayed figures like that, I think that really is telling. But also, I do feel as though nobody wants to go head to head with MP. So when something MP is announced, you have to kind of pull back your hand a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And the well's kind of running dry. So what are they going to go to now? Fans Toys has typically been you know, they'll put out the G1 stuff, maybe G2, you know, but when the well's running dry and it's oversaturated with all this other stuff, they're not the first on the block to announce a figure anymore. A couple years ago, they were first on the block to announce, you know, whether it be Shockwave, who else they have? They had a couple other things, and they were the first to come out with that. And they had this standard of great engineering, great, you know, build, great look. Now, what are they going to do that's going to wow us, you know? And I think that's why they're in a bit of a holding pattern right now. And I could be completely off base too, but from the outside looking in, it looks to me like you're almost scrambling for ideas at this point. Because after the next couple figures, what do we have? You know, they're going to have to step it up, either go into the combiner world, which I think they've started already, but they're going to have to dive, you know, headfirst into the combiner world and figure out what else is going on. Maybe city bots, you know, I don't know.
And that's a good point. You know, a couple of years ago, say around 2016, say 2015 to 2017, Fans Toys was putting, you know, a lot of renders out. You know, if anybody put anything out, Fans Toys was right behind them, and you got an announcement, hey, we're putting this out, you know, and everything. And you just don't see that anymore, really.
Because there's nothing left to really surprise us with, and that's hurting them. I think, you know, that golden age of third party and of Transformers has passed. So we're kind of, there's ebbs and flows to everything. So we're in a down period right now, and it'll build back up. But we're waiting on the new hot thing. And, you know, whether it be Fans Toys, whether it be Make Toys, whether it be Mastermind Creations, somebody's in third party is going to come up with the new hot thing, and everyone else is going to latch onto it. So it might just be city bots, because we've seen the whole wave of combiners, and almost all combiners have been done 2 to 3 times over. So what's next?
So that's good. I asked you about the Fans. Are you in on the combiners for Fans Toys? Do you have any Zeta stuff? Because their combiners are really good.
No and no. Now, that being said, it's only because of where I'm at with combiners. I've got 1, 2, 3, 5 combiners in my collection right now, and 3 of them are from the Warbotron family: the Devastator, the Bruticus, and the Menasor. And that's all because I like the way they look. They're aesthetic. Like, they look like, I guess, real world vehicles. And I have Unique Toys Abominus and MMC's Feral Rex. I'm actually about to sell Abominus and Feral Rex if I can. But only because I feel they're a bit dated at this point. To me, I want something a little bit bigger. But I haven't gone in on any of the Fans Toys combiners just yet. Because they're doing Superion, right?
Yeah, they got Superion and the Stunticons, which they haven't released anything yet. But you know, X-Transbot's got the Stunticons, and I'm in on those. Zeta, I'm telling you right now, if you want combiners, and Bobby will back this up on it, if you watch his reviews, the Superion is awesome and the Bruticus is awesome. So if you want 2 representations of those characters, I would definitely go with Zeta.
Okay.
But I don't know about Fans Toys, you know, and people have said this before, you know, you've got Zeta, and then the person in second is way behind.
Wow.
But we don't know about Fans Toys. I don't know what Fans Toys. Me personally, I think that Fans Toys is going to be really great individually, and I think the combined mode, if they don't do parts forming, I think it's going to suffer.
I got you. I can see that being the case. You're right. And with me being that I only exclusively collect Decepticons, I'm going to be passed on a lot. But I would like to see what their what the Manosaurs look like, the Stunticons look like, and whatnot, because I'm not a fan of the G1 Manosaur look necessarily. That's why I have what's it called? The Warbotron, basically, Manosaur, because it has that IDW look, which I think is much more sleeker and just cool.
You mean the Transform and Roll Out, or is that the one you have? Or?
Transformation, that's what it's called.
Transformation. Okay, yeah.
Transform and Roll Out. I could not think of the name of it, but that's what I have.
Okay,
and so that look, and now don't get me wrong, the actual combined mode it can be floppy, it can be a pain in the butt, but the look that it has is what I want. So I wish it had more stability, especially in the hips. but I can work around that. It's not gonna, it's not gonna break my shelf or anything like that.
Right. And I'll tell you, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters. I mean, if you love what it looks like, who
Fans
cares?
come up with an IDW Minnesota, I'd be all on board probably, honestly.
All right, cool. That's a good answer. But yeah, I think, well, the Zeta Bruticus, since you are only collecting Decepticons, if you ever decide to go on the other side with Autobots, definitely get Superion because he is really good.
Yeah, I watched the reviews, man, and it's hard because I can't just have one Autobot in my collection. Then it's gonna be,
that's understandable.
I'll be past retirement if I get in the Autobots.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and I like I said, with the fans toys, I just don't know. I'm everybody thinks. Well, I don't think everybody thinks, but a lot of people, think that fans toys is their shit don't stink. Most of the time, and that's fine. And a lot of people think that Takara's shit don't stink and blah blah this and everything. Everybody has their pure fan base, whatever for each thing, but. I like fans toys. I like what they've done. I don't think I have a terrible fans toys bot that I have in there in my collection. I don't think they're falling, I guess, from grace or whatever is what he asked. I just think they had some not so great releases.
Yeah, you're right. And everybody has that every now and again.
Oh, you have to. You can't be perfect all the time. I love Cyclonus. It was beautiful. It's a really good Transformer. I didn't get the Hoodlum, but I got their 6-shot, and I'm not really impressed with it. But it's still fine.
The best 6-shot I had was probably a G Creations Fuma. I ended up selling it, but that was a great figure, and I really liked it. And I necessarily didn't want to sell it, but it just didn't go with where I was going. I sold that, and I think Carnifex at the same time.
Okay.
But those two look great together. So if there's two figures that I'm probably gonna rebuy, it would be those two.
I still have Fuma. He's pretty good. He's I don't know if he's MP scale. He's kind of I think he goes with Trug. I think maybe. I don't know if I'm picking the right one. So that's all right. Let's see, Rob. There will be ups and downs, but I'm most happy with that third party is respectable now. Okay, to me at least. Fans toys are just too expensive for me. I hope they stick around though. That's cool. Yeah, I admit that you can't go wrong with that, man. That's cool. Well, dude, I think I've ran out of questions. Oh no, I have one more question I was going to ask.
Go for it.
What does your wife think of your collecting?
So, I think I've said this on Nerd before. She was surprisingly supportive of me collecting. To be honest with you, now I can't remember. It was 2014 or 2015, one or two, and I told her I was going to do this, and someone's like telling your wife you're going to buy a boat or something like that. So, and I told her I was going to do this. And she was 100%. She's like, okay. She's like, you deserve to do something for yourself. And she's like, you do stuff for everyone else. And for us, you take care of it. She's like, do something for you. And I was like, okay, cool. So I bought the first figure. And she saw it. She comes down every now and again and looks at stuff. And she's like, looking at it like, oh, that looks really good. The funny thing is we never talk about price. I told Bobby, I said, if I buy a figure for myself, whether it be Hot Toys, whether it be I usually get her something too, from something that she likes at the store.
Yeah.
I try to keep it even, but we never talk about price when it comes to that. But she has been very on board and supportive with it, which surprised me because I'm like, gee, I guess I got to keep her now.
You're like, man, I was gonna get rid of you, but
right. I was hoping this was gonna be the straw that broke her.
Now I love you. I love you even more now. So, yeah.
Yep.
So what do the twins think of what think of your collection?
My son, because I got a boy and a girl. My son loves the Transformers. He's a big fan of the robots, and it was funny because his favorite is Devastator because he loves trucks. He's a big fan of anything with wheels and any vehicle. So he's Devastator, and he's like in love with it. And he's drawing pictures of it and everything. My daughter could care less. She could do craps about any of this stuff. Now she's more of a superhero, like a Marvel person. So she'll see my Hot Toys and be like, oh, that's Captain America, or that's Spider-Man. She likes that.
Yeah.
But my son is more of Transformers because he's looking at whether it be Devastator or Bruticus or Minosaur, because it's all cars.
Yeah.
And he's enamored with it. And so it's cool. And they know, this is daddy stuff. You don't pick it up and play with it.
Yeah.
But like when I go in there to dust and stuff, I'll have them down here with me and they get to mess with it a little bit. So it's cool.
That's awesome, man. That is so awesome that both of them, they go to their own side of the your room,
Exactly.
whatever. But they're you're keeping the the nerddom alive.
I hope so. I'll feed right into it once they get to that age.
Mm-hmm.
If they want this stuff, I'll feed right into it, honestly, because I think it's what I couldn't have myself and what I couldn't really be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
I would love for them to be a part of it and have access to it.
Okay, nice. That's good. And one more question. Rob asked, so what do your parents or or your friends or family? What do your family or your friends think of? Do they know about your collecting?
Yeah, they actually do. So my family, I remember the first time they came over my house and they saw all this stuff. And my collection, I think, was a lot bigger than it is now. Mm-hmm. And they're like, wow, this is, and my brother and his kids still come over and are looking at it in awe.
Nice.
And they love it because obviously my brother and I, we all grew up watching this stuff. And he's like, I remember that character. So they love it. My mom even said, it looks really good. This looks so good. And whether she knows the characters or remembers them or not, she's still like,
she appreciates it.
She appreciates it. That's the perfect word for it. My friends have come over and they've seen it and they're like, man, this looks good. Like sometimes I think it's just about how you have your stuff displayed. And, I don't hide the fact that I'm, I collect. I'm part of the nerd culture 100%. I don't hide that, whether it be with my family, my friends, my coworkers, they all know. So they come and they see it and they're like, you know what? It looks good. Mm-hmm. It's not for me, but it looks good. So,
yeah. Well, you're being real to yourself too. You're not, you're not trying to hide it. This is who I am. If you don't like it, so be it.
So be it. My collection isn't in my closet. It's out in the open in my,
And it's for you. And if like I said, nobody else 100%. Likes it. Oh well, then you ain't my friend. No,
exactly.
They like that, but but yeah, dude, man, I had a wonderful time, dude.
Matt, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. This was really good.
Now you can come back on any time, dude. I wish I would have asked you earlier. I've gone through. I usually just go through my little messenger thing. I'm like, okay, haven't had him on. I'll ask. And I reach out. I reach out to people all the time. Like, you want to come on? And sometimes I get yes, and sometimes they're like, I'm kind of shy. I don't want to do it. I'm like, oh, that's fine. That's fine. That's cool as can be. But yeah, thank you so much, dude. I had a wonderful time, dude. This was awesome. This is awesome. Thank y'all very much, everybody in the chat and everything for watching.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate
it. River, how you doing? Sorry, I didn't say hi earlier. You said, how's it hanging? I said, it's pretty good. Your friends shouldn't make fun of something that you enjoy. That's true. That is really true.
100%.
Really. So true. But dude, where can they find you? I mean, I know you're on.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. Well, I'm on Facebook first. Evan Tyler on Facebook. Mm-hmm. I'm sure if you look me up, we probably got a bunch of mutual friends.
Oh yeah.
I'm on Instagram. Oddly enough, Black Steel, Black Steel 86.
I follow you. I'm
or just search Evan Tyler, one or two. It's a picture of me, so you can't miss it. So look me up, hit me up, give me a follow, give me a whatever, And if you want to shoot the breeze, we can.
Yeah, exactly. River House Gator, he's fine. He's with my wife right now. Anyway, but yeah, once again, thank you very much. Go down and hit that like button, the little thumb, whatever. It helps the channel. Go down there and sub and all that good stuff. And look this guy up. He's awesome. He's a really good dude. And he's really easy to talk to, dude. I had a wonderful time, man. Thank you so much for taking time to come on my little show and everything.
Dude, it was my pleasure. And like I said, I'm honored to be on it.
Awesome. Thank you. And I guess I will see y'all in the next around 30 minutes. And as always, hail Hasbro and good night, folks.
See ya.